finally today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, creepy friends. Welcome to Nixie Bob's. Whoa, what was that? And it's finally the day. My skin has improved enough to be able to play with this. I'm so excited. This is the Mally Ion Flawless set. This was the TSV on QVCUK from, I guess, a couple of Saturdays ago nearly now. And it's my first ever experience with Mally, so this is like a Makeup Monday, first impression, tutorial, play with this pouch, set thing, and I'm very excited to try this. It's, yeah, it looked like a great package online. Really great deal for the money. This was about 38 quid. So realistically, when you're getting a foundation, a brush, a brow product, an eyeliner, a mascara, and these, I've just realised I don't think they've got the pad in there. I'll have to look at that. It's a great purchase. It really, really is. But it's all dependent on how the products perform. Now, a little prematurely, I'm going to let you know, I have experimented with one or two products from this. Obviously, if you've watched the oh my god, what's wrong with your skin video, you'll know that I had a severe allergic reaction to medication in the last couple of weeks. So when this arrived, I've not been able to play with particularly the foundation because, as I said, Mally is not a brand known to me. I've never tried it, so I didn't obviously want to risk antagonizing or upsetting my skin anymore. So now that the rash is almost gone from my face, not completely from me, I've still got quite a bit on my back. My shoulders have come out recently in quite a few, and I've got this weird little lesion appeared on my neck. I don't get my body. I'm gonna get a rash. Oh, we're gonna put it all over your face. Great, thanks. So that's gone, but I'm still using like 2 layers of moisturizer a day because my skin is just soaking it up ridiculously. One thing I will note is that, as I say, I've messed around with the mascara, the eyeliner, the brow product, and the shadow sticks. The shadow sticks are not, you probably see I've got liner and shadows on already. That is because the shades that I'll swatch for you and show you are not me. However, they do exactly what they say, in the fact that, like, I put these on my hand, slept in them, and they were still there the next day. That's how... Literally, when Mally says they're tattooed on, she means it. They do not budge. They are an extremely strong product. So instead, I used the paler, more gold tone, which is this one, for my primer today. And I have experimented with that last week, so I know that it works really, really well. Also not used the liner, which is in a brown shade, for the top line of my eye. I've just stuck with Super Cat. That is because, again, I tried that and to me it was too faint. I didn't really see it, but we're going to use that in a different way. So to open the pack out, there's Miss Mally. She's nutty as a box of frogs, that woman. She's lovely, but she must be exhausting on set. So we've got a full-size mascara, 2 shadow sticks, the liner, the brow product, the brush, which obviously you can see I've still not used, and the foundation, which I think my shade is Fair. Whatever the lightest one was, that was the one I bought. And it did sell out on the day, which I'm not surprised by its power. How good value it was. That was what I was trying to say. So all I've done as of right now is applied my primers. I'm still on neutralizing and obviously my standard BM primer, which is just my holy grail. I've done my eyeliner, not finished it yet with the flick. I tend to do that at the end of makeup application now. Not done my brows. So yeah, we're going to be using the majority of the lot. Let's play with the shadow sticks first and I'll show you these. So the top one will be the gold. This is the one that I've used as my primer today, and I don't know, hold on, Golden Hour, that was that one's called. And then we have, what's this one? This is Dusty Rose. Not sure which was meant to be the matte one. She did say there was a matte-ish one. I don't think she's a very matte girl, lady. Oh, we could experiment with that. That's a good idea. We could try using Dusky Rose as a cheek colour because this pack does not come as a cheek colour. So that might be something to experiment with at the end. So there are the 2 swatches of Golden Hour and Dusky Rose, and they are really... They're nice shades. They're just not something I would really use on my own eye. I do find them slightly awkward to use as well. Like, you put them on and then you have to work with them really quickly, or they do dry and then you're stuck with it as it is. I'm going to let those settle on for a minute more and then do the little rub test that she does. So the liner we have is Evercolour Starlight Waterproof Liner, and it is in the shade Dark Chocolate. I'm going to swatch that on my hand. It's a nice shade, but I do prefer my black. But don't worry, we're going to be using that once I've applied the makeup under this line, and I'm going to smudge it out slightly. So don't think we're not going to use it. We are. Brow product. Now this is an amazing brow product. I would use this. I would actually buy this. When I first got this out, it felt a little bit hard, but when you watch me apply it later, it's the top line, you will see that it does apply very naturally and very well to the brows. So I'm looking forward to using this one. Firstly though, before we do anything, I'm going to apply mascara, and this is Instantly Impactful Dramatic Lash Mascara. I have used this about 2 or 3 times last week. I'm not going to lie to you, I love it. I think this is a great mascara. It really, really is. I used it on the Saturday with a primer, a lash primer. I'm going to do it without one now just to show you how well it does elongate the lashes. And it does so well. It honestly could rival some of the bigger names out there. The brush is kind of like, it's kind of like a, I don't know how to describe that, but it's not a straight wand. It's kind of like got little dobbles over it, so it is designed to kind of, I think, curl. I don't believe in curling with mascara, and get every lash. So I will start showing you how, well, I don't want to say amazing, but it is a very, very good mascara at that. The thing I like about this as well is that it doesn't stick or clump lashes. It really does keep everything singular and individual and separated. So that's one eye with just one layer, and you've already got a really good length. Now I'm going to do a couple more layers than I normally would do on a weekday, but I'm only going to do it to one eye so you can see the difference. So I'm quite settled there with 2 layers, and I am gonna zoom in and show you this. The length of it is crazy good. Like it's very, very impressive. If you can see that, how tall and towered they are, how elongated they are. You can even see it very well over my liner. Very impressive. I really do like this mascara. And I don't often say that. If I don't like a mascara, I will honestly tell you. I'm really impressed with this. This would be if they brought it in as a duo, particularly if it went on Easy Pay. I would think about buying it. I would really consider buying it. So I'm going to finish my second eye now. I just think people should be talking about this mascara more because it's so good. Just even in one coat on that eye, it's just opened up my eye so well. For the next coat, I'm actually going to see if I can show you how it applies. Let's try this. Bearing in mind I'm relying on the image at the back mirror, which is kind of hard. I mean, that's just such a good mascara. It really, really is. I've got to just level it here because, as usual, this side doesn't mascara as well. Go. I mean, in 2 coats, that's done that. Imagine what this is like with a primer on as well. Really, really impressive. This would be an absolute... I would definitely buy this without a question, without a shadow of a doubt. Yes, I would buy this normally as a normal product. Let's go on to the foundation because that's what I'm most excited about right now. Yeah, oh, let's get the brush out. I'm excited about trying the brush. Also because my brushes, I have just literally washed all my brushes. So all of my decent brushes are currently drying. So I don't actually have any other brushes to use. So great. Oh, I do have the sponge. I didn't think I did. So this is Flawless Finish Transforming Effect Foundation. I do indeed have the fair shade. So all I did, when it did arrive a couple of days ago, I pressed on the inside because I couldn't work it out, and I swatched it. Let's add to the swatch my hand there. That is the shade of fair that you get. It's a cooler shade, which is good. I don't tend to like yellowy fairs. So the issue I'm having, you know the new Bare Minerals Bare Skin Liquid 24-Hour Wear Foundation? I've got a little swatch of it here, but I've got it in the wrong shade. I've got it in Dawn. But I would need fair because Dawn is a little bit more yellow based. They did not have a tester of that, but she said take it and try it and see what you think. £29 is a lot for a foundation though, so I would only consider buying that if it was an amazing product. But to Mally, we're not here to discuss that. So I've seen mixed reviews about this foundation. Some people say it's great, some people say it's drying, some people say it clings to dry skin and enhances big pores. With dry skin and issues right now, I am the perfect candidate to be able to wear this and tell you whether it does or doesn't stick and cling or fade. Some people have said it patches. Obviously with me, you know, I discussed the effect with foundations, so I will know quite quickly later on today whether that is going to do that. So let's go ahead and try it. So I think, do you press? Okay, so I've pressed. This is kind of confusing. Okay, right. So the colour is definitely great, but I don't think I needed that much. I feel like I just totally over applied that. But that's quite impressive in the set that it's actually just almost instantly covered up the remaining rash that I have in like a second. You know how it always says 30 seconds to flawless? That was like 10 seconds to flawless. The brush is super soft as well. Really nice brush from Mally there. Really has done a great job. I'm quite amazed at that. Obviously on first application, I don't judge. I judge an hour after, several hours after, when I see how it's wearing in. It's really impressive. It's covered everything beautifully. I'm quite amazed by that. It's a little bit sticky to the touch, but obviously I've got to let it wear in. But if you look at this side, this was always the light side of the rash anyway, it's done amazingly. Really well. Okay, let's do the forehead. I'm going to dab it in a little bit again. My method always with stuff like this is to stipple it in first, just to get into everything, and then brush and buff. This is why I'm going to do my brows last, I think. See, the brush is super soft. I really am a big fan of this brush. It's really delicate. With some brushes, their rough texture can leave your skin slightly raised. So this one does leave me with a lot of hope that it's not going to do that. And I have small strands of hair getting in the way of this. So I had a little bit of a pimply going on here. It's really gotten into that quite well, if you can see that. It's also attached some hair to it. It's really impressive. I only got one layer on, but it definitely impresses me from that angle, and it doesn't feel unnatural at all. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing too much. It doesn't feel like I look caked. It does just feel like it's my skin, which is what I always love with things like this. Really impressive foundation, really impressive. It's definitely got all into that rash and covered it up brilliantly. And it, as I say, it just, I've got a slight brush mark on my nose. It doesn't feel unnatural. It's really settled in beautifully. I'm really very impressed by that. I don't know what you guys think, but I mean, looking at it from a distance, it looks great. It really looks great. And I've applied the only concealer I've used is obviously under eye concealer. But beyond that, I've done nothing on any pimple I had, so that's a really good job to me. And I don't think I would ever feel the need to apply a second layer on top of this. So first initial impression is great, but obviously we'll come back in a little while and see how it looks after a little bit of wear. Its negative is that it is a little sticky on my skin, so I am going to need to apply a little mineral veil just to get it settled in. My idea for this is to use it as a cheek colour, and I want to see if I can get away with it. So let's play with that, and let's go back to the brush. You can. They constantly say you can use like lip stains as blushes and stuff like that. That does apply okay. It does leave just a delicate little shimmer, and I don't think I'm going to use that brush to do it again. I'm going to go to my Spectrum brush. It's like whiskers. If I'm doing blush and I've got to work with this quickly, I always try to use the apple and the cheekbone as my guide, as opposed to using anything else. It's blended out quite well. That's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. I'm just going to use a bigger brush just to blend it even more. Very impressive. You can definitely use this as a cheek colour. Just going to add a little bit more over this side because I did kind of buff it away with the original foundation brush. Unlike, I've said before, you can smile with a blush, but the thing when you do that, the minute you do that, your cheek falls down. So I always just feel for the cheekbone and do it that way. Definitely works. And it's not an unflattering colour either. I don't know if you can see it. It's always just enough with me. I don't like to look too overly pinked. Let's do brows. Let's play with this. So this is, I think, was this a new product out? I've not really followed massively Mally's line. It is Precision Brow. And it's a lot like Goof Proof is what I'm going to tell you guys. It is a lot like Goof Proof. It's got a similar head, a similar shape with like a tip and a more thicker bit at this end, like a triangle. It's almost like a slice of pizza. And you have the spoolie on this side. So it's a lot like number 7's one, actually. I've used number 7's, I think, Stay Perfect Brow. It's a lot like that. I'm going to just quickly comb that through. This is my good brow, which is why we're doing this one first. And I'm going to take the thinner side to play, and then I'm going to turn it round. And my brows do need a little bit of grooming, by the way. So I'm trying not to get this too thick because I hate big thick brows. This is a universal shade as well, by the way. It's not, you did not pick the brow shade, it was universal. And the thing I really do like about this is that it just looks like a natural brow. Like, even applying it, I don't think it would actually be possible to overdo this as a brow product. It just frames so well. And it just looks feathered. It just looks like a full brow. It does not look like I've drawn it on, which is exactly what I like about it. It's really impressive. Really impressive. And again, I would consider buying this as a normal brow product. If there's a duo or a trio, it is something I would look into getting. Done. I don't think they're crazy big. They just frame my face well enough. And as I say, it just looks like natural brows. I don't feel like they look drawn on at all. Very impressive product. So the final product, before I quickly apply a little layer of mineral oil, because this is still a little bit sticky on the skin, is the liner. So the brown liner is nice, but brown, as I say, I prefer black. So all I'm going to do is frame under my eyes. There's a weird noise downstairs. So I've lined it with the liner, and I'm just going to smudge the liner out with this brush. Do not ask me what number this brush is. I don't know. I just bought it because I liked it. I'm just going to get a little bit more smudge effect. You could obviously also use this on the waterline. Don't know how does it? Oh, it does actually wear quite well on waterline. Does quite well wear quite well on the waterline as well. Yeah, it does. Blend this out quickly. Ooh. Poking myself in the eye. Smudge that out, and I am actually going to waterline it as well. My initial impression of this is that I do really like it. It's kind of, I can see the redness of this little pimple here now. It's not settled into the skin as well as Becca. As I say, even now I've had this on for about 5 minutes and it is a little bit sticky. So I am going to have to just quickly dab mineral veil over it, just to help it set. If I can remember where my mineral veil is. Here. I'm going to use my Real Techniques brush, my lovely big fluffy brush. I'm not going to apply too much. Maybe it has settled into some of the dry areas that I can see here a little bit, I won't lie. And maybe it's emphasised some of my fine lines under my eyes. I know people were saying that they felt it did do that. but it's the longevity of where I'm interested in. That's what I want to see, how well it does. I'm actually not actually do a flick on my eye today. I'm kind of liking it without the flicks. I always do cat eye flicks. Maybe not today. Maybe we'll leave it. Let's also see how, right, before we judge this, now that we've mineral veiled it and we've let it dry on a little bit, let's see how we do in an hour's time just before I head out to work. Okay, so I've had this on now for about 2 hours. I'm starting to notice a slight collection building around this area, and it's also becoming quite oily again. It's quite sticky in places, like I've got quite a lot of oil coming through, and I know it's meant to be slightly dewy, but I feel like I'm looking shiny. I don't know if you guys can see. Haven't noticed any fade yet. The biggest areas of fade, and I'm going to bring my mirror down here because I keep going off camera, would be around this area here and on my forehead. It is slightly, I'm going to come right in, it looks like it's starting to patch on my forehead, and it is seeming to stick to some of the drier areas. I don't know if you guys can see that. Doesn't seem to be coming off, which is a good thing, so it means I can touch my skin and not worry that I'm going to leave a handprint, or B, come away with a big load of coverage. Foundation, that's what I'm looking for. Nose is looking quite shiny. I'm on the fence right now, I'll be honest. It looked lovely when it went on. It still looks nice now, but the stickiness is bothering me a little bit, and I'm going to have to re-mineral veil. It's 2 o'clock, just gone, give or take. I've just had my second Piriton of the day. I've got another 2 to go. Oh, I don't mind it getting sticky as long as it doesn't flare across the face. That's not really an issue. The brows are still in place. The waterline liner has gone just a bit, but I never really have huge expectations when it comes to waterline liner anyway. The only one that I've ever used that's actually stayed in place, 2 actually, there was the Kaiko, and there was a Tarte product from one of the sets that I believe I reviewed. But that's my only vice at the minute, is although the coverage still looks lovely, I just feel like it's starting to get quite sticky and greasy and oily, and I am noticing the tip of my nose is beginning to come across as a little bit red. I'm slightly itchy in places, which I'm not thinking too much of. Obviously I've still got little bits of rash here and there, so to say I'm a bit itchy and blame it on the foundation would not be fair. That's just not true. But the oiliness is bothering me a little bit. But I will continue to check this out throughout the day, and let's see what happened throughout the whole day now. It's not good. Okay, so you just saw the footage from last night. So unfortunately I fell into the category of that. It did to me what it did to everyone. Come about 9 o'clock, I literally just had patches of it attached to the dry skin on my face, and literally, although this rash has severely and seriously cleared up since last week, you probably still see I've got like the element of the rash left, but literally this was just showing through completely. Even when I washed it off with Liz Earle at night, I mean, usually I take makeup off and you always get the smudge of it all over the cloth. There was literally barely any foundation left on the cloth, and I was so disappointed because it wasn't like it went fur and separated and just sat in anything. It literally dissolved and disappeared from my face. It was like I'd never even put it on. It was completely bizarre. As you saw from that, I tried to zoom in on every element of my face, but the most special one I could see was down here on my chin. Obviously I've still got some dried up pustular, disgusting rash that was left. Still got a bit of that today, funnily enough. So to give a rundown, the foundation, I give it a 1 out of 10. Actually, no, that's a bit harsh. I give it like a 2 out of 10 because the shading was great. It looked great when it went on. I actually really like consistent, and you know what? It stayed well on my nose. That was the bizarre thing. It barely moved from my nose. It's so odd. It covered the nose for the whole day. The brush, I wish I could keep the brush and the mascara. These make excellent eyeshadow primers. They are literally amazing. I would rather use these to prime my eyes than my Urban Decay. I mean, I'll show you, remember I swatched this yesterday? This is the swatches from everything, and bearing in mind I have washed Liz Earl off, I have slept in this, I have worked in this, and they still have not budged. All right, we got a little bit of loss, but it's still there, and this is almost 24 hours after. So I would absolutely look into buying those. The brow product I love because it does just give you a really full looking brow, and it looks completely natural. It does not look drawn on or overdone or over preened or anything. Obviously, because of the foundation, yeah, I have to send it back, but you know, these products individually I would buy. The eyeliner is give or take. I mean, I would not choose to buy that colour. It's not for me, and I won't lie to you when I say that. But on the whole, I'm slightly sad that I'm going to be sending it back, but it's not all the products that I'm sending it back for. It is just purely the foundation. So let's go back to yesterday. So I don't know how any of that went. Oh, and before we go, now this is all set on, let's try the rub test Mally talks so much about. So the shadow sticks, I'm rubbing quite vigorously. The shadow sticks absolutely do what they say. They do not move, but the liner and the brow product definitely move. They're faded away, but the shadow sticks are definitely an exact replica of what they say on the tin. I hope you enjoyed this. I don't know how you found the Eye on Flawless. If you got it, do let me know. Did you like it? Did you not like it? How did it work for you? Let me know. If you liked the makeup, let me know. Maybe you want to subscribe. You don't have to. I don't force you to do anything. I will see everyone again for another video of anything I want. Bye, everyone.